Oh, well. So, good evening. Welcome back to another video. John Sinclair TV back again tonight. I've got Brian with us from Tottenham On Tour, massive Tottenham Hotspur fan, and also a regular guest on WeAreTottenham TV as well. So, big up to you, Brian. Good evening to you, mate.
Good evening, mate. It's always a pleasure to come on other people's channels. And as I said to you in the backstage, I've got a huge soft spot for Newcastle. So it's great to be on your channel.
Thank you very much indeed. What kind words as well, Brian. Also, you think Newcastle's a fantastic city as well. So, guys who like the video, like what you see, please give it a like, hit the subscribe button as well, please. And if you like to super chat, it's always open. And if you'd like to become a member, it's just 99p. And please also follow Brian on Tottenham On Tour as well. And also, he's a voice of reason as well. Before we go on to the usual things, let's go on to some comments as well. The first one I've got here is Anfield Uncle Rod. Big up to you, mate. Keep up good work, bro. You killing it. Thank you very much indeed. Big up to Chelsea OG. Thank you very much indeed for that. Big up to Israel Uncovered as well. Please hit the subscribe button, mate. If you can, that'd be amazing. Thank you. Big respect to the Geordie fans that rallied together to get Ashley out. Thank you very much indeed again as well. I really appreciate that. And even to Alan as well. Big up to Alan. Hi to Luke. And hi to Leslie, one of my mods. And like and share. Thank you very much indeed, Miss Stapleton. And I to Andrew DP. Hi to, let's see again, welcome Brian. Hi to Jules as well. You know the drill. And hi to Mason as well. I've got a load of comments for you. Thank you, Gareth. Hi to you, mate. And Evan's flying through as well. And to Mason again, thank you, and Les as well. And I've got one for Strasbourg, Steve. Thank you for your kind donation, Steve, from America. Absolutely fine, and I really appreciate your donation or kind donation. Thank you very much indeed. Giving guys huge fans of you twos, are the lads as well, and Steve, say hi to you as well. Right, we're going to talk about the season so far for the preview as well on Tottenham. And Brian is, like I suppose, the reason he says how it is. Tell us your season so far, Brian. I know you're not very happy.
Oh, Jesus Christ. Okay. So I am very, like yourselves and how you were with Mike Ashley. I am one of the most staunch Levy out people you will come across. I have been Levy out since he sat Martin Yeo at half-time. That's right, a chairman that sacks a manager at half-time in an active game. Our club has fallen to pieces. This season has been an absolute shambles. I cannot wait for it to be over. I cannot wait. The drama that happens at this football club is like no other. I just can't. The season's a shambles. It's done. It's dead. It's over. And with our main rivals on the verge of maybe winning the Premier League is just not good either. It's really not good. We are a sinking ship at the moment.
Yeah, it's not looking good for Tottenham, isn't it? Like, because what it is, you haven't won a major trophy, well, the league since 1961, and under Levy, I don't think he's won very much neither, sort of thing as well. But it's not good. I mean, when you've got fans paying up to 2, 3, 4, 5 grand season tickets, they deserve better than that as well, in my opinion. But Daniel Levy, he's been there since I think it's 2001. I could be wrong.
2001, yeah.
Thanks for that. And basically, right, I mean, he sacked George Graham and he's brought in elite managers as well. He brought in Jose Mourinho and he also brought Antonio Conte. We're going to talk about Conte later on, but he brought in elite manager to your club. Why have they left so early, Brian? Is it because of Levy? Is it because, you know?
It's so first of all, major trophies. Yeah, we won the league in 61, but we've also won the FA Cup 71, 81, 82, UEFA Cup 84, 91 FA Cup, 99 League Cup, and the last one in 2008. So we've won one trophy in the last 22 years. Or sorry, in 22 years we've won one trophy under Levy. That was 15 years ago. So why have these managers gone? So let's start with Jose Mourinho.
Yeah.
Jose Mourinho, when you hire Jose Mourinho, and we all know this from close quarters, we've all grown up watching Mourinho, whether it be Porto, Inter Milan, Real Madrid, or obviously Chelsea and Manchester United. We all know his MO is come into the club, spend hundreds of millions of pounds on players, wins trophies, it goes toxic, he pisses off. That's what he does. And Daniel Levy wanted him for 20 years. And when he could finally got him, he goes, yeah, you can come here. We want to win trophies, but I'm giving you no money. And you have to buy, compared to what Mourinho gets, if you're going to bring in a manager like Mourinho has he brings in ready-made players that are ready to rock and roll and go.
Yeah.
And the same with Antonio Conte. If you bring in Antonio Conte, this man wins everywhere he goes. Why? Because the manager is backed, the manager is supported, and the manager brings success. We don't get there at this club.
Yeah, it's Daniel Levy, isn't it? All over sort of thing. No, I mean, he just doesn't spend loses the purse strings like Mike Ashley, we had him as well. But I mean, if he did back the managers properly, then Spurs would have won a trophy or two by now. And they know what it is, right? I mean, your fans are starved for success, and you've got players like Harry Kane. He wants to win trophies. Ho-Min Song wants to win trophies. Yeah, Bentancur wants to win trophies as well. Hugo Lloris. I mean, I know he's come to an end of his career now. Also win stuff as well. But at the end of the day, right, I mean, me as Harry Kane has stayed at Tottenham for so long. He's been loyal to your football club. And
incredibly.
It's just absolutely fantastic. Big up to Harry Kane for staying that long. And I wonder if he's going to stay next season. He's got 1 year left on his contract after this one, of course. He's been linked with Bayern Munich. He's been linked with Man United. Can you honestly see Harry Kane staying at your football club next season?
Okay, so the thing with Harry Kane is loyalty. We all know we can speak about someone that's close to your heart in the number 9 of all number 9s in Mr. Alan Shearer. When you've got the chance to represent your club, that holds a huge weight. That holds a huge weight to represent and play in front of your people. Like Shearer says, he doesn't regret not signing for Man U one bit because he got to play in front of you guys week in, week out, and that's what he dreamt of. So you can kind of see that with Harry Kane. But football's evolved a lot since Shearer retired. It's evolving all the time. Harry Kane deserves trophies. Harry Kane is one of those players that are always on the back of the paper, not on the front. You don't hear him being in trouble. You don't hear the bad news. He's a role model. Yes, has he turned up in finals? We can all talk about that. But he is he's Tottenham through and through, and he's tried to do everything. He wanted that move to Manchester City, or he wanted the move away that season. Obviously, that didn't materialise. I don't know where we go with him right now, because you look at it with Conte, and then you look at it with Mourinho. You look at it with Poch, who is now talking to Chelsea, apparently just to rub salt in the wound.
I've heard that as well.
You've got to think, at what point does he say, do you know what, I want trophies? Do you know what, I want to win something? Alan Shearer, okay, I don't mean to rub salt in the wound. He won the Premier League at Blackburn. He had his trophy, but he got you to FA Cup finals. He got you to league, or trying for the league, and he was happy doing that. He had his medal. For this guy to not have a medal will be one of the biggest crimes in football. It really will. Like I said, we are just an absolute mess. And like I said, I have a huge, I always have done. So people that are watching this as Newcastle fans that don't know me, my footballing hero, my footballing idol is Paul Gascoigne. Love that man with every single beat of my heart. Will be the greatest player in my eyes ever to wear the shirt. And I just love Newcastle. It's just to see what you've been going through. And obviously, we were in different worlds, whereas you go relegation and relegation promotion. The day you got taken over, I was so happy for Newcastle. I really, really was. Listen, there's loads of stuff about the politics with the owners, but you know what? You look at your owners, and you look at it. They've been in there for a year, just over a year now.
Yeah.
They've got Eddie Howe in, and let's face it, he's not a Conte level. We're not, but they've listened to the manager and backed the manager.
Yeah.
They haven't got in and gone crazy with the money like everyone thought they would, like a Chelsea, like a PSG. They've listened to the manager. They've listened to the fans from what I'm seeing of what they want from the club and what they expect from the club. And you are just going on this open highway right now with sky's the limit. And we've had Champions Leagues qualifications, Champions League runs, Champions League finals, Premier League title pushes, and yet we still don't strengthen.
Doesn't make sense, does it, for your club at all? So you've got to strengthen every single season. You've got to thrive and strive all the time. Do you know what I mean? Keep players like Kane happy as well. And he has even done that as well. But you've got the right ideas, but he just doesn't follow it up, Levy. He just doesn't at all whatsoever. So I wouldn't have him as my chairman at all whatsoever. Absolutely no chance. No way. I've got one comes from Gavin as well. Hi to Gavin. Please hit the subscribe button, mate, if you are new. And hi to everyone else. Hi to Ian as well. I hope you're all right, mate, says Brian, by the way. Big up to Steve as well. Brian, mate, huge fan of your videos of Tottenham on tour. I'm not even a Spurs fan. Brilliant info on Spurs. Keep the good fight going against Daniel Levy. Absolutely. Absolutely. Question for your guest, that's Brian. Are you looking forward to Europa League football next year? That's
honestly, I'll tell, and I've been saying this on my channel. I want us to get Conference League. I want us to get these players that have. Listen, as much as I blame Levy and as much as I can't stand the man, and I will blame these players, these bad eggs like Eric Dyers, Yotagi, but all these players that have just been allowed to renew their contracts and play and never replace. They're a huge part of this problem as well. And I want them to play in the I honestly, I don't want Champions League because Daniel Levy won't use the money for the football club. It will go in their back pockets. I don't want them going to Europa League because it's an avenue to the Champions League. I want Conference League football where they'll go there for a punishment and they can go to these places where they're the worst stadiums. They won't have the nice comfy seats that keep their bums warm when they're on the bench. They need punishment. And all the Newcastle fans will know you need tough love and things need to get worse before they get better. So a lot of people that are leaving out like myself and protest and do everything we can, we get called toxic, negative. We get told all these things because we don't keep our mouth shut and we talk out about the board, which is obviously something you guys can relate to. I honestly believe this has got to get so much worse before it gets better. So I don't want Europa League. I'd rather Conference League or no Europe at all.
I tell you what, though, if you get Champions League, we finish 5th. We just swap places for you, mate. Just tell UEFA and just say we take your place.
I wish we could. I put it this way. I'm being serious now. I'm not just saying because you're on your channel. I hope you get Champions League football over Tottenham. I hope Manchester United get Champions League over football. Any team. I do not want top 4.
Fair enough, fair comments, and it's just and I can understand your passion, I understand your frustration on what's going on in Tottenham as well. Thoughts on Poch talking to Chelsea, Brian? We spoke about it off from the backstage as well. You just mentioned it as well. How would you feel if he went Spurs to Chelsea?
As you would have heard and as you would have known, there's a lot of singing about Mauricio Pochettino right now in the Spurs ground. There's a lot of people that want him back, which are the same 4 people. The same loads of people that 4 years ago were calling for him to leave. And now all of a sudden they want him back. I love Mauricio Pochettino. The 2 greatest times of me being a Spurs fan that I can remember clearly was, as I said earlier, the Paul Gascoigne days and the Mauricio Pochettino days. I would welcome this man back with open arms under a new owner. If a new owner walked in tomorrow and said Pochettino, no problem. Love him, welcome him back. Pochettino says he has unfinished business with Tottenham Hotspur and he wants to win a trophy. I don't want this man's legacy to be dampened by not being backed again. I want him to come back and have the fairy tale, not the nightmare. So as much as it would hate me to see him at Chelsea, I just don't want him back at Spurs under Levy. I really don't.
Yeah, I think he's better than that. Like, he must know what he's like working for him. I mean, personally, if Poch went back, it'd be a backward step for me, let's be real. And they're having lots of problems finding a manager. You got Nailsman, all right, I'm trying to get him, trying to get Enrique as well. But who is going to come to Tottenham? And he's in company's name's been mentioned as well. Who is going to work for Tottenham Hotspur under Levy, when they know full well they're going to get not much money?
Well, you know what it is, John. Since Conte's been sacked, and I have to say, and I've said this before, the Conte press conference that he gave after Southampton was probably the best thing a manager could have done in the whole of Levy's reign, because finally someone called it. Someone came and had the balls to call it out and tell it as it is. So that was a great thing. But now we've got to the point, since that's been sacked, that you've seen that people are saying, I just don't want to work with him. I just don't. He'll either kill your career or you'll not be backed. And there's people that don't want to come to this football club now because of it. And it's going to get worse. This keeps happening.
Yeah. I'm going to have to agree. It does not look a happy football club in a minute. Like, do you know what I mean? I mean, Harry Kane, I think he wants to play more Champions League. But whether it's Tottenham, I don't know. But it'd be very interesting. Brian, would you like to see Levy sell your club? Of course he does. He's Levy out all day long, Alan. All day long. Excuse me. His price has dropped, totally dropped from 150 mil to 88 mil. They talk about Harry Kane. That's from Gav. Southgate, next Spurs manager, definitely not.
Thank God he was staying on for England, in case that could have been apparently Levy is a huge fan of his.
Yeah. Oh God. I mean, to be fair, absolutely no chance of that happening. And Gascoigne, my God, what a footballer. That's from Steve. Hopefully Sanchez plays on Sunday, and Langley is out. Aston the Claude lag. What do I say about that one, Brian?
Listen, I said to you, I said it to you in the back end, and I'm going to say it right here in front of you guys. I hope you kick the shit out of us on Sunday. Ooh. I hope, mate. Listen, as I've said, people are going to go, "Oh my God, how is he a Spurs fan if he's saying he wants his team to lose?" That's no team of mine out there right now. That's dead souls running around for a pay packet. There's no team. There's no togetherness. There's no. When you've still got 9 players there from when Poch was there.
Yeah.
People like Eric Dyer that have been there for like 9 years, and we don't replace him. Davinson Sanchez. Listen, I was appalled by Spurs fans booing him. Absolutely appalled. No matter what happens, he's just not good enough. It's simple. He is not good enough. But it's not his fault. He's not good enough. He's had 5 different managers, played 4 different variations of football.
Yeah.
No other players have come in. Look at our defenders. The last one we bought was Romero. All right, long lay on loan, but let's. No quality is brought in. It's like, we'll do that the next window. You listen, as Newcastle fans, you know exactly what it comes to with this. So, like I said, tough love. I want us to lose. So if Sanchez plays, albeit.
Yeah, fair enough. I mean, got some more comments. So I do keep coming. Any questions for Brian? And keep them coming in. Then we're going to talk about the game as well. Levy Spurs' biggest issue. Respect your words, mate. That's in Gav. Thank you, Gavin. Thank you, Brian. Where does your fondness of Newcastle came from? I heard you mention it somewhere.
Yeah. So like I said, my footballing god is Paul Gascoigne. And obviously the season we had when I started watching football, Gaza came in '88. The time I really started getting into football, I'm 43 now. I'll be 44 in a couple of months. So when Gaza came was the time where I really started taking interest in football properly and watching games and whatever. So Paul Gascoigne to me is just the greatest. Also, we had Chris Waddle. I've been up to Newcastle. I was a season ticket holder at Spurs for 10 years, from 9 years to 04. And my favourite away day every single year, without fail, St James's Park. You've got your Old Traffords, you've got your Anfields, but that stadium is something special. Even the little hill, like where the Bobby Robson's statue is.
Up to the cathedral.
And the people you Geordies are honestly the greatest people in this country. Honestly, I mean, I'm not just saying this because of the channel. Put it this way,
Yeah.
my wife, I've been living in Canada for 5 years because my wife lives in Canada.
Yeah.
I'm back here for a few months. Now, if we ever came back to England to live, my wife's not very fond of London. There's two
Fair enough.
places I would say to live. One is right down south in Bournemouth,
Yeah.
and the other right up the top in your neck of the woods. I just think Newcastle is one of the most wonderful cities. And obviously, they all started with Paul Gascoigne, but the away days at St James's Park were just the best.
Thank you for that, Brian. Kind words there, my guy. Absolutely brilliant. And being lived in Newcastle, and you know what it is? I mean, it's a fantastic city, fantastic people, and I'll be back on Saturday for seeing my partner in a few days' time. Bring back Dele Alli. Now for you, Steve Bruce to the rescue. Here we go. Here we go. All this Steve Bruce for Tottenham chat. Here we go. Big up to good father. Hi to you. Got one here from leaving. Actually, must be cut from the same cloth. That's inside. Big up to you, Simon. I hope you're okay. Boost for Spurs. Evening, joining. Yes, evening to you.
Let's get it trending. Let's get it trending.
Let's get it trending. Let's get it trending. The J Maker, big up to you, mate. Please hit the subscribe button, mate. If you can, that'd be fantastic. Thank you very much. And Poch to Chelsea. There's been talks of that's going on as well. It's not a done deal yet. So, and everyone's chatting to everyone else, which I think is great. Hi to Clarky as well. And Jules has got to go. And you guessed it, quite right. Take care to you. Enjoy your, if I guess it right, Chris, like not bingo. I get it right this time. Big up to Jules. Thank you. Brian, would you take Chris Hughton as your manager?
Not as manager. Listen, Chris Hughton is a Spurs legend. He's won silverware at Spurs. Obviously, he's been assistant manager at Spurs. He is listen, he's been with you as well. Chris Hughton is a very, very nice guy. Very, very nice. As a human, he's incredible. Football manager, I just wouldn't take it. I just not right now. Like I've said, my number one choice because I'm fed up of going for the big names and not having them backed. My number one is Thomas Frank from Brentford. I really, really like him. I think he's brilliant with the media. I think what he's doing at Brentford, sorry, excuse me. Who would have thought Brentford would be doing what they're doing and playing the way they're playing? I think we need someone like him, a younger manager, to come in and see what he can do. So my number one is Thomas Frank.
Yeah, he does good work at Brentford. He's done a fantastic job. He's good at the media, like he said as well. That's number one. And also as well, he's a fantastic young manager. He really is. I mean, has he taken Brentford as far as he could? We're about to find out in the summer. Tottenham don't need to manage. They need a shrink to put that house in order. And that's Conte. And that's to agree there. Thanks, Brian. Jordan's on the best, as always has been. That's from Alan. Thank you, Alan. Keep going with your hard work, John. Going to be an interesting game on Sunday. Matt, please hit the subscribe button, mate. And thank you very much for your kind words, my guy. I appreciate that. I did hear Mike Ashley as a boyhood Tottenham fan. Any truth in this? Because there's a lot of people saying he's a Spurs fan. People say he could be a Chelsea fan, but apparently he's a Spurs fan. And I've heard that as well.
It's true. He's got a very, very big house here in North London down a very expensive road called Totteridge Lane. It's a huge behemoth of a house. But those rumours are true. He is originally a Spurs fan. Yeah,
I've heard that as well, and that's very true as well. Is it really true that everyone had a soft spot for Newcastle? Thanks, Brian, for your kind words. That's from Steve. Big up to you, Steve. And yo, John, my guy, yo to you, Stu. I hope everything is fine with you. And do keep those comments flying through. Thank you. 25 people watching the show. Thank you very much indeed for that. Appreciate that as well. Please follow us on John Sinclair TV and also on Brian on Tottenham On Tour. He's got fantastic content and does good work as well. I'll just talk about Conte as well. I mean, he originally turned down use, right?
Yep.
And then, I mean, say you, not use you. And then after, he comes to a certain time, right? And he has spent a lot of money, 180 million quid. He bought in Lenglet on the season-long loan. He got in Perisic, 2-year deal, which I think is a cracking signing as well. And also Richarlison should have scored on Saturday. I think he had a headed it wide for 60 million quid. Now, Richarlison hasn't scored yet, if my memory serves us correctly, as well.
In the Premier League, he scored in the Champions League.
Champions League, yeah, on the Prem. But the one player I love, and he's going to be a miss at the end of the season, I rate this guy, is Bentancur. That guy is an absolute miss for you.
Yep. He's incredible. So listen, with Antonio
Big
Conte the
fan.
first time, when he turned us down the first time, and I called it before it happened because I'm fluent in Levy.
Yeah.
So when we were going for him was around the season ticket renewal date deadline, and the rumors were flying around, and I was like, you watch. Once the season ticket deadline passes, something will happen. Season ticket deadline passes.
Yeah.
In less than 2 hours, the deal falls through. I was like, oh, there you go, you suckers. You've fallen for another trick that Levy's doing what he's doing. And then obviously I was there. I was there for the Manchester United game, which they called El Sakiko with Ollie. And obviously when we started singing We Want Levy Out for the very first time, like as loud as it was, he acted and brought Conte in. Now, when Antonio Conte came in, you thought you had the dream team. We thought we had our corrupt Paratici, whose ban has been upheld today for 2 years. So we had him and we had Conte. And you thought, okay, now we're going somewhere. If he's brought Conte in, this time it means we're doing something.
Yeah.
Got to the Champions League, all well and good. Then came the summer of investment, the 150 million. Now, we found out that Jed Spence was a club signing, Daniel Levy, even though he wasn't going to be doing anything. Richarlison was bought on the thought that Everton would need the money, so we made a move for him. We bought Basuma, who will be a fantastic player for us.
He will.
But
He will.
in an Antonio Conte system. We didn't go for Bastoni or Gvardiol, who were the targets, because apparently we got all this money, we're going crazy. So we bought an on loan Clement Longley, because next season we're going for Bastoni or Gvardiol. Okay, yeah. And now we're looking at bringing Longley in to replace Longley. What Daniel Levy has done, I'm sorry it keeps going back to Daniel Levy, but when we have the Gareth Bale money, rather than buying quality, AVB wanted people like the Hulk, Matinho. We got Capoue, Vlad Clearishes. All right, we got Ericsson. We got Lamella, Lamella did fairly well for us. Ericsson, obviously, much better.
Yeah.
But we bought 7 players in. So it was quality over quantity. Then with Jose Mourinho, where we spent money. Rather than buying quality players, we bought 7 players in again. So it was quantity over quality. The summer of spending, once again, guess how many players we bought? 7. With that 150 million, all it needed is 2 or 3 tweaks. If a Bastoni, all right, he wanted to stay in this league, but if a defender of that ilk could come in, a Bissouma, and then another player of that quality, and spend it for 150 million on 2 players, maybe even 3, that's better than buying 7 that are just dead rubbers. And this is what we do. This is what we do, and it's Conte. Unfortunately, hasn't coached players to be better. He's not one of those. Like you see Eddie Howe. Eddie Howe's come in and made players better. Look at Joel Linton. Joel Linton, who was vilified by your fans at times because he's bought as a striker to score goals with a big fee. Let's play him in midfield. He looks revitalised. He looks like a different player. The players that are coming in, Kieran Trippier, a player that I love and didn't want to sell at Tottenham. He's coming. He looks like one of the best, if not the best, right back in the country at the moment. Eddie Howe is coaching players. We're bringing in managers that need the ready-made players brought in that don't really develop. They bring in elite stars to do the elite job. And it won't work with what Conte did, sir. He's paid the price.
Yeah. And that press conference he did after Southampton just confirms that everything. But like you said, Brian, I mean, I watched that for 10 minutes or so, right? And for me, he is absolutely right. I like a manager or people that comes out and call it how it is, say it how it is. So the fans don't get left behind. The fans needed to know. It's as simple as that. And Conte is absolutely right when he did that, letting Levy know. And the moment he did that, it stays at Spurs manager and numbered. To see what he's basically asking for the sack, and they didn't back him. It's as simple as that. He wanted out of there, simple as that. And I hope now you got to get the manager in. Whoever comes in, it's got to get out. He's got to get the appointment right, Levy. He's got to get the appointment right, because at the end of the day, you just spent a lot of money for the stadium, right? A load of money for the stadium, and you know what it is, right? It deserves Champions League football every single season, yeah. Not at our expense, of course, but at the end of the day, you've got to perform. You've got to spend about, like you've done, 180, 200 million in the summer, yeah. And you've got to keep improving the team all the time.
Yep.
For me, I look at the players you've got. Your defense is not good enough, yeah. And Romero, I'll follow Romero's progress as well. I like him, but he's a bit rash. He's a bit rash for me. Sanchez, not good enough. Davies, not good enough. Yeah. Longley, I mean, you got to give him another chance as well. Yeah. Eric Dyer, I'm sorry. He's not good enough for me. He's not good enough. He's not. You say you need to reselect your back three. You know what I mean? Because at the end of the day, it hasn't changed one iota. You need, like, a new defense. Bastoni would be perfect for you. Skriniar is going to be a free sign at the end of the season.
He's going to PSG.
Yeah. Oh, that's a done deal on fee, yeah?
It's a done deal. Bastoni won't come anywhere near us now because obviously we haven't got Antonio Conte, who is. But you look at it. You look at what you've done at your team. Mm-hmm. We wanted, and we have been rumoured with for a few seasons, Botman.
Yeah.
But you went, rather than these stupid offers to try and haggle and save money, you went, okay, here you go. Look what he's doing for you. Kieran Trippier, Dan Burn. You look at your defence. Yeah. Your defence has been Nick Pope. We've needed a goalkeeper. Lloris is, but you've got out and done it. And what I've admired about Newcastle as well, everyone thought they were going to come in and be the juggernauts like Manchester City or whatever did. What I loved about what you did last season is you went for James Maddison once. Leicester turned it down.
Yeah.
You went back with an improved bid. They turned it down. Yeah. And then you guys were like, you know that we've got money. And now you're trying to play silly buggers with us to try and get extra. Well, we're not playing that game. Goodbye. See you later.
Newcastle tax. That's all they want.
Mate, and I honestly think outside the top six, I can never say his surname right. Bruno Guimaraes, is that how you pronounce it? I think he's the best midfielder in the Premier League outside the top six. He is breathtaking. Another player we linked with. But you went and did. We just put bids in that are way below what Newcastle are doing, and the way they're doing it. You would have thought Eddie Howe might have been done for, and you go get an elite manager or a manager a little bit, but you stuck by him, as in the board. The fans love him. The players love. Look what you're doing. Look what you're doing. Isn't it amazing when a board listens to the manager? It's incredible.
Yeah. Absolutely. We don't not spending millions. We spent about 225 mil since they took over the club. 225 mil. We spent 125 in the summer. We spent about 100 mil in January. And I tell you what, all the signings we made. Look at Chris Wood. We signed Chris Wood for 25 mil, right? That we sold the force for 19 million. 19, yeah, with the loan, right? And I tell you what, right? That's a good piece of business for Newcastle. I mean, Chris was contributed to us.
Yep.
It's not my favourite player, but he missed a lot of chances before he moved to Forest. And we need another striker in the summer. A young striker to cover for Isak and Wilson.
He's incredible. Isak is outstanding. I mean, I'm a bit... So Callum Wilson, I always thought, you know what, before he joined you, would have been great backup for Harry Kane. Because Callum Wilson, you've seen, he gets it. His injuries still aren't... He still picks them up quite easily. But he would have been a great backup to, or even a strike partner to play with him. Big fan of Callum Wilson, and he's done very, very well with you. But Isak has been incredible. Look at the competition you've got between those places. Fantastic competition.
Absolutely. When Callum Wilson's fit, then we've got a player in there. Listen, I've not been impressed with him for the last couple of games, but he's getting back in the goals, and I love to be proved wrong. Got two questions. Who would Brian's dream appointment as head coach for Tottenham? Sai is Thomas Frank, and Alan's question: has Spurs finished paying for the stadium?
No.
No.
That keeps getting refinanced and moved about and whatever. We keep holding concerts and skywalks and boxing and you name it. NFL. The stadium's got a little while to be paid off. That's for sure.
Yeah, that's never going to be paid off. That's not going to be paid off. Big up to Luca, by the way, in the chat, Arsenal fan as well. Everyone, Sky are disgraced by moving the game to Monday night again. They think about their money over fans. So you know what it is, right? I'm going to be real here, right? I wanted to go. Oh, should have gone to Leicester for the Sunday game and Brighton for the weekend game. But guess what? Can I go? Because Leicester's on a Monday, Brighton's on a Thursday. I cannot go. I cannot get time off from work. I'll not be wasting any more holidays at all whatsoever. Simple as that. So, and Alan's, well, Glenn Hoddle, I don't think so now, Alan. Not as your manager. He used to be manager at Tottenham. And for me personally, I think he's done football management. Yeah, he's done with football management.
I'd love him back in the club. There's no one more that's got Spurs in his heart and is revered as the greatest player ever to wear the shirt is Glenn Hoddle.
Yeah.
His football brain is is incredible. It'd be great to have footballing people around the club again.
Yeah, man.
I'm always, I don't know how Newcastle fans feel about this, or fans in general that are in the chat. I hate previous heroes coming back as managers, because if it doesn't go well, then it kind of taints what they did as a player. So I wouldn't want him back. Definitely within the club, definitely within the setup. If new manager comes in or new owners and said they wanted to be part of the club and part of the football inside, 100%. But manager, no.
Fair enough. It's like Kevin Keegan. I love him back as an ambassador for Newcastle United. Yeah, I'm sure they've been talking about it. I spoke to Arne Barton. He was on my show over a week ago. I think actually it's last week. And he said that, it'd be great for him to come back as a Newcastle ambassador. That'd be amazing if you get Keegan back. He's 70, I think 73 now, Keegan. Yeah, he's 73. Or is he, 73, 74. But
wow.
You know what it is? He'd be over the flipping moon. Now we've got to take over our club. What will Spurs do when they sell Kane? That is going to be a question. We're not even worth thinking about if I was Brian. There's just no way, because he'd be hard to replace. That's number one. Number two, right? It's going to take months before they replace him. It's going to be so impossible. And will Levy spend 100 million on a centre forward for the next 10 years? Probably not. And Alan's chatting to Tony. Brighton fans must have filled having to travel up to Newcastle on the Thursday. I tell you what, they would not be happy at all whatsoever. And he's just cancelled Sky Sports. And wow, I know why. And you know what? A lot of people might be doing the same, Tony. So give us your formation. Before we do that, Tony, Sterlini taking over from Conte, right? It should be Conte Lini, to be honest.
That's exactly what I do call it. That's exactly what I do call it.
Same system, not changed up. This is this chance now to change it up and play open attacking football like Spurs fans craving, right? Because you pride of playing open attacking football, yeah? But still Lini, or going to Conte Lini, right? It's playing exactly the same. And Conte Spurs.
Yep. Yeah. I mean, this is the thing. You think when he was away, because of his gallbladder, and when he was taking over, you'd understand him copying Conte's tactics, because Conte was still the boss, and Conte.
Yeah.
So he's been Conte's number two for a while. So it's what he's been drilled to know, and it's what the players know. But you think now, excuse me, now that the position is yours, you change things up a bit, whether it be the styles of play, the formation, the minutes of the substitutes. It's just the same. And the bad thing about this is Hugo Lloris, who has been a very, very good goalkeeper for us, is now way past his best. He's on the decline. I've been saying it for a few years.
He did.
Playing the ball out from the back is the work. My sister's got 5 kids. The eldest have just turned 11. All 5 of them, and the youngest is 3, have got better distribution than Hugo Lloris, or as I like to call him now, Hugo Flapiansky. So that's why. But because he plays from the back, it worries defense. The defense are shit, so they panic. I'm kind of one of the guys that always believe that you play to your strengths, not to your weaknesses. And our strength is our attack. There's no doubt about it. All right, Son's had a woeful season by his standards, but you got Kane, who without his goal involvements would be 16th. That's where Spurs would be right now without Harry Kane's goal. So the person that asked where would Spurs be without Harry Kane, bottom half of the table immediately.
Agree.
Kulusevski has been off the boil since the World Cup, or he didn't go to it, but since the resume of the season. But the attack is our strength, but we're not playing to our strength. We're playing to protect our weakness at the back. and the football is just beyond. I mean, we've had Conte, Nuno, Mourinho, and we used to play like Martin Jol, Pochettino. Tottenham have been known through the Hoddle time, through the Alan Gilzine time, throughout our history for playing attacking football. And now it is the most hideous, boring style of football I have ever had the mispleasure to watch.
It's not good, isn't it? It's not
No.
good. 100%. Because I tell you what, the Spurs side over attacking football, you're not getting that at all whatsoever. That's Dan Levy. He's the one who points them. And I tell you what, I said earlier, he's got to get his appointment right. Otherwise, Spurs fans will have enough. I'm telling you, it is not good. Got some more Steve Bruce comment. Bruce for Tottenham. Not going to happen. Tottenham,
I swear it's going to be trending.
It's going to be trending. You're right. It'll be trending. Good evening to you, Dean from New Zealand. Hope you're okay, mate. Spurs love Bruce, a nice family man. And got one of no player of Kane's quality will have or will stick around for Spurs with the current set up. I tell you what, he needs to think about it as well. He's going to go. Diego Simeone as Bruce's assistant chef. Diego Simeone, another one who doesn't play. I tell you what, he is a damn good manager. This is the manager who went to Madrid and Barca and won a title, won a couple of King's Cup, won the Europa League as well. This guy is highly respected. And if I had a choice, if it wasn't Eddie Howe, I would have gone for Simeone all day long. That guy is a brilliant, brilliant manager. His training is absolutely sick. And I tell you what, he'll just drain every single sweat out of you at all. You know what's going to happen. So, Bruce would love London, selling cows in the markets. There we go. He knows that as well. So, give us your team lined up for Sunday's game. If you're the manager, who's your team lined up? I know there's not a lot there.
So, we've got so many injuries as well. So, first of all, Fraser Forster in goal. Listen, when he was in charge, when bloody hell, Hugo was injured. The defense looked calmer. The guy can play with his feet. He's a big unit. Yeah, he's getting slow because he's older, but he is in better form than Hugo. So I'll start with him.
Yeah.
We're gonna have to go 3-4-3 because that's what we're going to be doing without foul. It pretty much will be, depending on Longlay's injury. I guarantee you. I mean, this is a thing that again that gets with Stellini. He said that the results aren't due to tactical issues; they're down to individual errors. Yet the next week he picks the same team and they make the same errors. There's no accountability. It's like, yeah, just carry on making the same mistakes and we'll try and fix it. It will be, without doubt, it will be the same, depending on Longlay's injury, because I'm not too sure what's going on with that. If Longley is injured, it will be Romero on the left, or Romero, Tanganga, and Eric Dyer. I would imagine. What I would like to see, Papa Mate Sarr is a really good up-and-coming player, and he was unbelievable away at Milan. The only player in my eyes that could walk off with his head held high in the humiliating 2-0 defeat to Arsenal. And then we haven't seen him again. On the bench you go. Højbjerg has been woeful recently. Only recently. Listen, I love Pierre. That guy never gets injured. Runs like it for 90, but he plays so many games and so many minutes for club and country. The whole point of building this squad up is for rotation and to keep your players fresh. Well, our players are goddamn knackered. So I would like to see Papa Mate Sarr start ahead of Pierre-Emile Højbjerg, but that ain't going to happen. And I would like to see Danjuma start instead of Kulusevski because he's been way out of form. Son looks like he's trying to get back into some kind of form, and obviously he's got 2 goals in back-to-back games, which is the first time for him this season. And here we are at the end of bloody April. So yeah, that I think we'll see exactly the same team in all honesty, but I would make changes if it was me.
Wow, that's fair enough. For me, your back feed looks a bit weaker, sort of thing. Depends how Romero does, and
it's a maximum fit.
Well, the thing is, though, it could be out for a couple, said between 4 and 6 weeks. Could be out to the end of the season, but we're going to see what Eddie Howe says tomorrow. But people saying that he's back, people saying he's out injured. I'm sure people in the chat will probably know more than I do, really, because is he fit for Sunday? If he is, then there's a bother. about your back line. He's going to cause you back line problems as well. Miggy could be starting back from injury, came back as a sub, yeah, and he could be back starting as well. But for me, I'm still going to be 4-3-3 with Nick Pope and goal. The back four is going to be Trippier, Dan Burn, Botman, and Cher. That's our back four. The midfield three is going to be Bruno, right? Sean Longstaff, he'll be coming back in. And I think it'll probably be Joe Willock as well. And then the front three will be Joe Linton. Now, if ASM comes back in, Joe Linton goes back in mid. So I'm going to say Joe Linton on the left, Miggy Amir on the right, and up front to be Isak as well. That's my 4-3-3. And the thing is, you're going to find out tomorrow about whether ASM is going to play it tomorrow. So in the press conference, they will say that. But that's why I've given my 11 at this moment. But ASM's got to start if he is fit. If we have any chance of winning this game, and it's going to be tough, Brian. It's going to be tough, but
it's not going to be tough. Trust me. It's not. Listen, the way I look at it, you took your. I was surprised that you lost to Villa, or maybe the manner, because Villa have been doing very well under Emery. But the one thing you guys have done immediately is bounce back, and you're at home. And this season, I mean, if someone had said to you at the end of last season, right, you're going to get to a final of a cup, all right, not win it, but you get to a final and you're third in the Premier League, or where are you? Third or fourth at the moment? Are you third?
Fourth.
Okay, fourth. But potato. So you guys would have bit your hands off for where you are right now, and that stadium is going to be bouncing. And as Antonio Conte said, we can't play under pressure. We can't play under pressure. He's completely right.
He's completely right. You know, at the end of the day, I mean, the pressure's there. They're just too comfortable. Your club. Yep. They really are. Conte is right. And Levy should have backed him there and then, but he chose to stick to the players. He kind of set the players, but he can set the manager, sort of thing. And that is what exactly he's done. Do you know what I mean? And Levy doesn't really care. He doesn't really care at all whatsoever. And I think for you deserve a new chairman, new owner. That's what you need at the football club. Simple. And the sooner you get that, Brian, the better. And will Spurs get a new manager before the end of the season? I doubt it. They wait till the summer.
So now what I think may happen is we've got very, very tough 3 games coming up right now. We've got you guys, obviously, Sunday. Then we got Manchester United at home on Thursday.
Yeah.
And then we got Liverpool away on the following Sunday. So these 3 games are huge with all 3 teams. All right, Liverpool may not be able to get Champions League, but there's a real push. I wouldn't be surprised if we lose all 3 if Stellini gets the chop, and we'll just put Ryan Mason in. So I don't think we'll actually appoint an official manager as in, right, he's our new manager for next season.
Mm-hmm.
But I can see the pressure being ramped up on Stellini if we do not get a win in these next 3 games. And Ryan Mason will then be the fall guy, unfortunately. Great man that he is.
Yeah. Which is sad. Which is sad, man. But you need to get some results for the right reasons as well. But I expect to win on Sunday. Brian, which Newcastle players are you worried? You touched on ASM.
Yep, Kieran Trippier, because I just think he's a wonderful, wonderful football player. And if we give any set pieces away, his delivery or his actual direct free kick taking is incredible. I'm a big fan of Botman. Listen, we need our attack to have a good game, and you've got one of the best, if still not the best, defense in the league. So I'm a big fan of Botman. But like I said, the front 3 are scary, but I just think that Bruno, I'm not going to try and butcher his surname again. Bruno is just a wonderful artist of a football player. He's magnificent to watch. He's the big one that I worry about. He really is some player, so it would be Bruno.
Yeah, absolutely. I think if he will play, but if he's 100% fit, I don't think he's 100% fit yet because of his ankle. But when he does play, Brian, that guy is absolutely fantastic. Without Bruno, our team's in big, big troubles. Like Newcastle without the time bridge. That's how we value Bruno for us. And he could be key to get us in the top 4 this season. If he's on it, Newcastle's on it. If he's not on it, then the team is just crap, basically. I'm not going to lie.
Yep.
Brian, do you think Levy tried to knock Arteta over?
Do you know what? When it comes to this man, so I don't know if a lot of people know it. It was well documented. You know when the Premier League made it £30 for an away ticket for everywhere in the Premier League? One chairman opposed it. Guess who that chairman was?
Mr. Levy.
Correct. There's big talk when Man U were getting done. We heard Pep Guardiola say something about Daniel Levy. Listen, I wouldn't put anything past that man, and whatever that man says, I don't believe. Put it this way, I don't trust Daniel Levy to tell me the time.
No.
So when his lips move, he's lying. So obviously, see, I don't know. It's like when we had this so-called bid in January from Qatari, some Qatari money. It's all nonsense because he wants to stay over at Chairman. He wants to try and stay. Oh, there you go, sir. Beer Viking knows. I listen. Like I said, I don't believe a word that man says. I don't believe a word he says. So he's just if that's I haven't heard that information, but like I said, I would not be surprised one bit if he did.
Yeah, I wouldn't be surprised either, because Daniel apparently Levy sat alongside Richard Masters in the stand, and I'm pretty sure they discussed about the takeover. It's got to be. And we've got a referee as well on Saturday is David Coote. It's referee on Sunday. Shocking rev. Expect he's gone. He'll be back soon. I don't know what's going on there, Brian. Expect a crap referee call against us. Yeah, that's true. We're still going to wait for Brian to come back. And come back, Brian. Levy did try to block takeover. Yes, he did. And indeed, we heard that the loudest voices as well. I was going to ask Brian, oh, he's here. There he is.
Sorry, mate. I have no idea. I have no idea what happened just there. Absolutely no idea. I was like, oh my God.
Bless you. I thought you left us.
No.
No, I would have got the police onto you. Oh, your guys, Ben and Sim for WeAreTottenham TV. I'd love to get on my show. I'd love to get them on next season.
I'll speak to them for you. I will have a word with them for you.
Oh, thank you very much indeed, mate. If you do, that'd be amazing. Thank you. Levy has to get out of football. Alan have to agree. Didn't Levy decline an offer from PIF? No, that's the first I've heard that.
So there's been many a time where investment has apparently been around the corner or it's coming in. A lot of it is paper talk. But the thing is, he's so money orientated and knows he's on a gold mine at the moment that apparently one of the things he wants, that any takeover that comes, that he wants to stay on as chairman. And they're like, nah. They want. So there has been a lot of power. I mean, I did a video today because if anyone doesn't know, Daniel Levy he won't speak to us. He won't speak to the fans. He won't address the fans. He won't communicate with the fans. He'll barely speak to the trust unless Sky Sports report that we're going. But he did somehow find the way to piss off back to Cambridge University and do a lecture to Cambridge students. And it's like, you're just a horrible man. It's like calling us peasants. It's like when you go to Spurs, when you have a season ticket or a membership, we have something called a CRN number, which is where you could share your season ticket and where your ticket goes to. What do you reckon the C stands for in CRN?
CRN, no idea.
You'd think it would be customer, wouldn't you? But no, it's client. It's client reference number. It's not even supporters reference number. It's client reference number. This guy is such a egotistical narcissist. I don't know how many true offers have come in, but I know there have been offers, and he's kiboshed them all. Joe Lewis wants to sell. Joe Lewis, who is the big chairman, who lives in his yacht in the Bahamas and doesn't come to the ground or anything, he wants out. Daniel Levy doesn't.
Well, they need to sort it out then, sort of thing. You know what I mean? Yeah, he's owner of the club and he wants out. So they need to sort it out ASAP. It's gone on for your club. It's gone for way too long, Brian. It's gone for way too long. They need to sort it. You need a big backer to come in, right? A big owners like the Saudis or the Qataris. Someone's got a bit of money. Someone's going to care for the club. And he wants a big money fit. He wants what? How much does he want? A couple. He wants quite
5 billion, apparently is the number. 5 billion.
Oh, good luck with that. I think it could sell. It could sell, but that's down to Levy. That is down to Levy. And I hope that he sells the club big time for your sake. So we see what happens on that one. Read that one as well. Do you think Lloris will be gone in the summer? In your point, Brian, you hope so?
What you got to look at is, I want us to get a new number one and quick. For me, a new number one and 2 centre backs. Everyone's talking about creativity, but I'm one of those that if you don't concede, you don't lose. And you've got to get a goalkeeper and 2 centre backs. Now, if we were, Fraser Forster would go, and would Hugo really spend the last year of his contract on ridiculous money sitting on the bench unless we offered him a coaching role after?
Yeah.
If that was the avenue we went down, I'd welcome it with open arms to be a coach, and do your badges and become the goalkeeping coach at Spurs. But we desperately need a new goalkeeper, desperately. So I don't know. Who knows? I put it this way: in answer to that question, Father, I would rather say we have a brand new number one as opposed to will he be gone in the summer. I just hope we have a new number one.
Yeah, that's what you need. That's what you need, a new number one. And then hopefully probably another keeper for if Lloris doesn't go, then get another one assistant, number 2 keeper. Then when he does go, he comes and steps up to number one.
Exactly.
So, and we need, for me personally, I mean, Mark Gillespie is going to be on his way at the end of the season. For me, I think also Carries as well. Those Carries is going to go as well, I think. So we're going to left with Pope and Dubravka as 2 goalkeepers as well. But if Dubravka wants to move away, then he can do. Simple as that. The way he went to Man United and says some stuff about him as well. So for me, he'll not be a number one again. Claude said it could be worse at Tottenham. You could have Todd Bowie, and I tell you what, he's done a shocking job at Chelsea. 600 million quid and not even centre forward.
Yeah, John, what you got to remember is they've got Nkunku coming in the summer.
Oh, yes,
who will be a good player. What you got to remember as well with Chelsea, yes, they have been appalling, and it's wonderful to see, I have to say. As a Spurs fan, listen, it's wonderful to see. But one thing they've done cleverly is they've bought these players on very, very long-term contracts. It doesn't interfere with FFP. When they do get the right manager and those players have had a year, let's just say they bring in Enrique or they get Poch. If they get Poch with those players, Todd Boehly will look like an absolute hero in about 18 months' time because Poch will lead that young team to they will destroy anyone. So right now he looks like a prize pillock, but who knows when these players click and they get the right manager that they keep, it could be inspired by them in the long-term contracts.
Yeah, I think looking back, I think you're right, Brian. They've been very clever, like Battershield. I think it'll flush under Pochettino if Poch goes there. And you got Enzo Fernandez as well. He'll flourish under Poch as well. But if Poch does go, I'll have to agree with you. It turns Chelsea into a super team. I really do think that as well. Too busy back around commentary on Ashley. Brian, your goalkeeper looks good when playing for France. That's Lloris.
Yep, Alan, I have to say with that, it's amazing when you put a goalkeeper in with fantastic world-class defenders in front of him to protect the goalkeeper. Hugo Lloris at the World Cup was fantastic. His first game that he came back from Aston Villa, he made 2 mistakes and we lost 2-0. This is what happened. If you've got, listen, Hugo Lloris, I caught the tail end of Ray Clements, the late great Ray Clements, who was a superb goalkeeper. Hugo Lloris has been the best goalkeeper bar that of my lifetime. There's no, when he first came, he was just incredible. You got to remember when we bought him, the goalkeeper thing was the sweeper keeper, and Hugo Lloris coming off his line was incredible. But now goalkeeping is play it out from the back and be good with your feet, which he is not. He really is not. But when he's playing for France, them World Cup winners and World Cup finalists, he's got world-class defenders in front of him, which certainly helps him. But Hugo Lloris on his day shot stopping is incredible, but those days are few and far between.
Yeah, I totally agree. But these days now, unfortunately, you need a new goalkeeper. Hi to Kate as well. We're going to win on 3-1. Up to the league we are getting Champions League. Bye Tottenham fans. That's from Kate. I still want to get Kate on me, sure. And the bracket's available for 30 million quid. I doubt
30 mil.
No chance.
Well, with the way the market is right now, I mean, I go back. I used to love your goalkeeper, Shay, and now we're going back in the time. Shay Given, what a keeper that man was. For not being the tallest of the tall, Shay Given was incredible.
world class. What a world class. Because I can remember we played against Liverpool, we lost 5-1. He saved us an absolute tanking that day. I was there. Should have been 10-1. He made 5 world class saves before Liverpool got the first goal. It should have been 10. We were shocking that day. Absolutely awful. But Shay Given, walk out his head high. So there you go. And right, so go score predictions, Brian. I mean, Newcastle against Tottenham St James's Park. I know which way it's going to go. Give us your score prediction, mate. And can Newcastle United make top 4 this season?
Yes, you will. Yes, you will. And I mean this from the bottom of my heart. I really, really hope you do. I will be extremely happy to see Newcastle back in the Champions League, especially if it's ahead of one of the big boys like a Manchester United or whoever it may be. Because let's face it, there's a lot of people up for grabs with that Champions League. The top 2 are sealed, aren't they? It's Arsenal and Manchester City. Wherever they come is the only decisive factor. Yes, you will get Champions League football, and Spurs will help you get there by you beating us 3-1.
Champion, I saw going 3-1 as well to Newcastle as well. I think we'll bounce back on Sunday. I mean, Eddie Howe must have given a good kick in the backside as well after last week's drubbing, and he does not want to see a performance like that ever again. We'll bounce back 3-1 to beat Newcastle. I think Bruno's going to be a star, sure, and that keepers. Oh, if we win that game, you're not catch us, yeah, because you've got better goal difference than you as well. Even if you do win, then you'd be level with us. We've got a game in hand. And we've got to win that game. Everton on Thursday next week away. That's going to be a 3-pointer. It has to be. Then we've got to play Southampton as well after that. So we'll see what happens. Shay Given, legend. He is indeed, Leslie. 3-1, 2-1 to good father. Dean said 2-1 as well. Alan said 3-1. Leslie, we'll be thinking of you, Brian, where we seal our place as well.
Please do. Please do. I will be happy.
And Alan agrees and Les as well. So, right, we're going to wrap up there because we're doing the for an hour as well. I know you're a busy guy and I appreciate that. And Brian, did you enjoy coming on my show for the first time?
Oh, John, listen, I loved it. Like I said, it's always what I have loved about doing this is the football YouTube community coming together and helping each other and collaborating like this. Like I said, we'll get you on our channel. And I spoke to you about the show I want to do about the protest that you did with Mike Ashley and how you got so extreme or how you got to where you got. I've enjoyed every single minute of it, mate. Really have done. And big up everyone in the chat.
Brian, you're an absolute legend. You really, really are.
Cheers,
and it's been an honor for you to come on the show as well. Just a few more. And got one from Gareth as well. I fear Son more than Keane. And I like Son as well. But he seems to be getting back into their game as well. And guys, and where can we find you on your socials, Brian?
Yeah, so the YouTube channel is called, as you see there, Tottenham On Tour. I do a daily show normally called Cockerel Doodle Doo. So wake people up in the morning too, which is normally a 20-minute show just going on about everything going on at Spurs. But I don't do it every day, only if there's news. I just did a video, like I said, called Old Daniel, which is me relaying everything he said in that Cambridge interview. And I am known in the Spurs community for my Levy rants. Well, that one's a corker, get the popcorn. And our social for the channel is at Tottenham On Tour on Twitter. But if you want to get my social, my Twitter handle is BRI. Actually, wait, let me just type it in the chat.
Yeah,
I'll
sure.
type it in the private chat, and then you can put it in the chat, John. 1 second.
Yeah, that's fine.
If you go to the private chat, that's my Twitter handle. Which you would have put actually on the tweet when you did the show, but that's my Twitter handle where people can reach me.
I'm just going to put it in now for you. Right. Well, the link's in the description anyway, so
there you go.
And it's in there. It just gives 2 seconds there, and BRI, and it's DAGUL.
Correct.
Hey, there you go. Something out. There you go, people. Follow Brian on his Twitter account and his Dago, and also as well the links. There you go. Sorry, there you go. Do apologize.
That's right, buddy.
Thank you. Yeah, and his links in the description there, guys. Appreciate that. Do follow him on his Twitter as well. Top Tottenham fan. Thanks so much, Brian. Been a great show. Cracking contribution.
Pleasure.
Thank you, Leslie. Thank you, chat. Thanks to Clone Lad. Great show. Brian's a top guy. Thank you so much indeed for that. And Leslie, please subscribe and share your socials. Please help this content grow. Thank you, Leslie. And I should be back hopefully tomorrow for the another show. It could be the transfer show, or it could be a debate show as well. So keep your eyes peeled for that, people. And one more from Leslie as well. I'm going to have to watch it back. Gary, please do. It's an amazing show. And see you on YouTube, Brian. Thank you, Leslie. I've heard you quick word you backstage, Brian. Don't go away.
Yeah, of course.
And guys, if you like this video, please hit the like and subscribe. And also, super chats are open and 99p to become a member. So thank you so much for watching, people. And until then, guys, it's a goodbye and have a fantastic evening. We're Toon.